Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yep. The aftermath.
The aftermath. Yes. The fallout of Kenya's bright idea.
Yes.
So.
Which is funny because I thought it would take more center stage than it did. But I guess without her there, you can't really give it as much life.
No, you really can't. And that was really interesting. Like, jump around a little bit. Like, you could, at the end especially, they were talking about like, oh, you guys talked to Kenya about how she felt. But it's like, but not seeing any of that, like, it just makes it seem really, really weird, like why they're even mentioning
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, yeah.
But I mean, obviously they did. Like, and you can tell, like, at this time, it's very unclear. Like, everyone expected Kenya to be back. Like, they probably were, someone else probably filmed with Kenya in the meantime. Like, probably filmed them going over to Kenya's house and talking to Kenya about all this.
Yes.
And they just didn't show any of that. So it was really, really, really bizarre with that. And so, yeah, majority, they started off with Brit at home and, being upset about it. And
genuinely upset. Yeah. I mean, she said that she, unfortunately, when she was a teenager, allowed a boyfriend to film her while she was giving him oral sex. And then she did some webcam work. And
for a minute, I thought you said moral sex, M-O-R.
Oh, moral oral. That could be a drag queen name.
I'm sure it probably is somewhere. So, she made some unfortunate decisions, and
that she had wiped from the internet. So there have been a lot of rumors going around about how Kenya got these pictures or from whom. And some people saying it was from a cast member or someone who potentially was going to be cast who's trying out. And she's denied it. The woman who was at the salon opening, one of her friends. But she's denied it. So who knows how she got these pictures you can't scrub everything from the internet because it's the internet, nothing ever really dies. So it's just, the whole thing, is unfortunate that what she said, and it's very true, it was premeditated. It wasn't like I'm pissed in the moment and I heard you, that there's these, horrible pictures of you out online somewhere, I'm going to bring it up during an argument. It was like, I took the time to to have my assistant make a poster board, not a billboard, honey, a poster board, and bring it up at the salon opening. And, she had the goal of shaming Brit. And, we talked about it last week. We don't have to get into it anymore, but like it was very calculated and just energy expressed in the wrong way.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, my timing isn't going to be great with this, but I thought Brit sounded funny because she had been crying. Like, honest to God, I was like, oh, what's up with Brit's voice? I was like, she's very nasally. I'm like, oh, she must be congested from crying. Like in the scene where she's with her husband and everything, she's just kind of like very nasally. And then like it cut to like back and forth between some like confessionals and stuff. And she was still very nasally. And I was
That's
like,
just her voice.
Yeah. I honestly thought like, oh, wow, she must have been crying a lot. And it took like multiple cuts back and forth. And I think finally to like clearly another day, like a whole different confessional look, where I was like, oh, that is just her voice. She is really nasally.
Yes, very nasally.
Like I've been accused, ironically, that we have a podcast, but I've been accused of having a very nasally voice.
Same. I think I do. It's really.
You have a really deep voice. It's really interesting.
It's weird that it sounds like, I don't know, when I hear it myself, I don't feel like it's that deep.
I feel like when I have to edit the podcast and everything, like when I'm listening back to it in my headphones or, like I almost feel like if I could turn you down a little bit, I would, because you have a very deep voice. And I always wonder, like, if our listeners, have
to keep adjusting the volume.
Yeah. They're like, every time Jeff talks, it's like, I got this deep, voice going on. And then when Scott, it's all like, so. Mars Attacks.
Like you're the penguin?
Yeah, exactly. But no, Brit does have a very very nasally voice. Yes. And I'm not going to be able to unhear it now.
No.
Like every time.
And that Indiana Jones confessional with the brown leather jacket.
And then the cheetah boots.
No.
Everyone had some questionable
Shamea's like a 30th look.
Yeah.
How many confessionals did this woman shoot?
Was she like with production? She finished one. She's like, "Oh, I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back." And just came back in a whole other confession.
A whole new wig. Oh, are we ready? Like, girl, gotta be light.
Even production was like, "What? I guess okay." No. So,
but yeah. So back to yes, I felt bad in the beginning for Brit. I still feel bad. Like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that should not. I
just didn't like how things went. We'll get to it at the brunch.
Yeah.
But it was just, and I have to explain that to her mother and talk to her husband about it. It's just really, it's all so wrong and so wrong.
No one should be put through that, and have to. Yeah. It's no good. No good at all. What else do we have going on? Kelli and her daughter doing yoga.
Right, and talking about her ex.
Yeah. Yes. It took me a while to realize that one of Kelli's daughter's names was Chance.
I think they're all
C names?
Yeah. It's not C words. No, they're C names. C names, not words.
They're all C names, yes.
C names, Chloe, Chance, and then there's two twins.
Yeah. Yeah, Chance, I automatically just thought it was a boy's name.
Yes.
And then I was like, is her ex-husband?
That's what I thought for a second, too.
But then I was like, no, her ex-husband's name is Mark, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because she mentioned that. Yeah, complicated situation she has there,
Funny, not funny, but like she was talking about how her ex and she basically raised her daughter, not his biological daughter, but he came into her life when she was 2, and now he doesn't want anything to do with her because of the whole. This is a very ugly divorce.
Yeah, very, very
ugly. But for her to say like that really hurt the daughter, to say that hurt me, and that he's not looking to like claim me, and it's really. I know we're really getting Kelly's side, but like it sounds like he's a very bad person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, obviously abusive too. We've heard that side.
Right.
So, she's got like people say they have a lot going on. I think she legit has a lot going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But not so much that she couldn't do some yoga with a little sound bath at the beginning. It didn't register.
Yeah.
They hit the bang, and I was like, "Oh, damn!"
I like when her daughter's like, "She's like, you don't have to do the thing."
Yeah.
It's not like stereotypical yoga. Like.
Agreed. I would say overall, like, because the next thing that's going to end up happening is going to be but I don't think much happened this episode.
Random. I hope that she'll be around, Kelli, come BravoCon, and that she brings some chicken and waffles to like
the expo floor.
Yes. Oh, no one had food at the expo.
Yeah, no one would.
No, I guess in that enclosed space,
it's probably difficult.
Yeah, everyone just had like candles and like.
Clothes.
Weed, like paraphernalia.
Yeah.
But like, like
calendars.
She had some chicken and waffles because like the food could be approved all the time. So I'm sure.
Well, I doubt she'll be catering the entire BravoCon.
No, not that. But like, I think if she had like her little stand, I would totally buy some chicken and waffles from Kelli. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
She had to be on the back wall towards all the food.
Right.
Those hamburgers were awful. Oh god.
I had like a very like chewy turkey sandwich, very dry.
Yeah.
Oh, it was not good.
Food. So the other thing that I remember really happening this episode before Porsha even gets into it was Drew and Ralph, and
that was awkward.
Very awkward, and it just continuing. I'm not feeling Drew this season at all.
I mean, I'm whatever about Drew. It's hard to take her seriously because
she shows up wearing a pink baby doll dress.
That didn't help things. I was going to say, like, she's always says things like, even if it's a serious matter, with a smile. Maybe that's like a nervous thing. But I just like so much. And I also feel like she's always acting. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. It's just like, I don't always believe everything. The truth and Drew don't go hand in hand. That's what I'm saying. But so I don't know, like, is she paying bills? Is she not, as Ralph was claiming in his shirtless confessional? Couldn't she pay the exterminator bill? It's only $100. That's true to life. Ours is only like $100.
Ours only about $100. Yeah. But I think the fact of the matter is like, he's supposed to be paying all the bills. Like, so why would she pay them? Like, if the arrangement is that he pays the bills,
he claims that's not true.
Then exactly. But either way, again, not very compelling story. Like, I guess it's neat. You get to see her,
what's like you see nesting in action. We've heard so much about it.
You get to see the co-parenting going on. What I found really interesting as well was that while Drew was packing, she was packing with the handle up on her suitcase. Like, the suitcase was laid on the floor with the handle up, but the suitcase open. And I don't know how you do that, because sometimes if you pack it too heavy, when you can't get that handle back down in there. Anyway, just
why would you pack
a weird way?
Why would you have the? Yeah,
I have no idea.
That's not. Why would you?
Then the other thing I was noticing was her daughter's 5. I don't know if she's like 5. Going on 6, but currently 5. But we have friends who have 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds, but she seemed like a very I don't want to say mature 5, but like she seemed like she's talking, like she's actually like knew what she was doing, versus our friend's 4-year-old. I mean, I'm just saying there's like a huge difference between 4 and 5, and I'm just like, oh, interesting. Very interesting.
I was saying in regards to, and this can swing over to Porsha, Drew and Porsha. Well, Drew and Porsha to me are like the Kyle and Dorit of this season, in the sense they're going through pretty much the same thing with a divorce, and a really ugly one at that, and that they could be there for each other, but they're like fighting, so they can't be there for each other.
Right.
So like at Shamea's get together with her amazing outdoor furniture. Oh my God, I want to like just live there. Kelli was like, not Kelli, Angela was like just like curled up like with her little referee dress. Like, this is nice.
I was wondering about that outdoor furniture. Atlanta doesn't get humid, does it?
It gets very humid.
So then how do you have this outdoor furniture that was clearly, it looked like it was just made out of actual like cotton and like, actual fabric.
Yeah.
It's outdoor. Like you can't leave that out there. That thing would just turn into like a weird mildew.
Well, they probably cover it like, in between using it. Yeah.
I guess, but that's got to be a lot of, I mean, clearly you have to have some staff, because that's going to be a lot of work to keep that functional and clean. I mean, you know how our backyard furniture,
for reals.
we could barely remember to take the cushions in when we leave.
Oh, God. Those poor cushions. But yeah, like it was, emotional for Porsha talking about Pilar and Simon. And like, basically it's like dropped her words, dropped Pilar in a sense, and it was just that whole moment. And it's they're going through bad divorces. Like, we could be friends if Drew wasn't moving in a shady way,
right?
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense. Although, I mean,
Porsha finds out that they did film.
I know, that's one thing as well. And then the other thing, that
PJ college.
Oh God,
I was like, girl.
That was inappropriate.
We don't talk about kids.
See, Shamea, again, like, I think came to Portia's rescue on that. Not rescue, but was like to her defense to say like, hey, her college is paid for.
Right, yes.
Just a weird, like, foot and mouth situation with Drew. Like, she's trying to have a moment. And it's,
always.
Like, in a weird way that just isn't necessary. And I'm not feeling it. I don't know what I'm expecting out of Drew, but it's not what she's given.
No.
I did like while Porsha was at Shamea's, I liked Shamea going over there and like snuggling up with Porsha, like to console her.
Yes.
It was really like, it was very nice. It was very sweet. But I was also like, that couch was very large. The fact that she could go there and do that, and they're spooning on the couch together. I was like, oh,
huge couch. Which brings us to Shamea is a better friend to Porsha than Porsha is to Shamea.
But I like that Shamea knows it too.
And then, like, I would be that way too. It's like I've had people who are not always the best friends to me, and typically like cut them off. But
the ones you don't,
once I don't, I do like put aside the hurt and the hurt feelings and whatever. And I think that's that Shamea said that she's a people pleaser. Like, she's like, I feel I don't like what Porsha did and like the whole song thing, but she's like, it's not a good time. She's going through a lot of stuff, like, let me put my feelings aside. And
right. Like, now's not, it's also goes, I like that Shamea was like, now's not the time to bring it up. Like,
right.
I think she might later, like,
for sure,
time say, hey, that irritated me. But like in the scheme of things, like, she doesn't need to bring it up right now, when we're trying to have a moment and hang out together.
It was so funny, like how Porsha was saying in her confessional that her therapist is saying, we need to focus on you. I love Porsha. She's like my favorite, one of my favorites. But like,
all she does is focus.
Exactly. Like, girl, when are you not focusing on you? Like, it's always about you. So like, I could have told you that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just felt like, Shamea just shows herself to be a better friend, and others are noticing it. Drew Angela, you know, so it's going to come up. We see it in the trailer. It does come up. Yeah. They have a little sit down. So,
they went to the studio.
I don't ever need to go to the studio again. Studio scenes are so boring. I don't need to watch someone listen to a song. Okay. It's a great voice. I was going to say great song, but I don't need to see that. Like, I didn't need to see Drew and Dennis. I don't need to see Shamea in the studio with Next. You know, Step Back, Your Dance is Kind of Close. Like, the fact that you knew that song makes me upset.
I mean, I know a handful of songs.
You do.
But when I do, I know the good ones.
You do. So, yeah, like, let's get out of the studio. I think not making the band.
The one thing that I was impressed with is, like, I think when there are studio scenes on Housewives shows, any of them, I think I'm always listening out for how much auto-tune was used. And I have to say, though Shamea definitely had some auto-tune in there, I would say it was on the light side of auto-tune. Like, it wasn't like heavily auto-tuned like other people.
Well, like the Countess. We used to always see the Countess Luann in the studio.
Right.
But yeah, the thing with like Shamea, it's like, as we saw in Confessional, as she sang the whole damn song, she doesn't need auto-tune. She can sing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the greatest voice. It's a good voice, but they did some auto-tune on her just to get it, but like not heavily so. I was impressed.
Yeah.
So I think that really does lead...
Well, we go back to... Well, I guess we already talked about Brit and her mom. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kelli coming over with the IV.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand the IV situation.
I don't. Yeah, I'll take a gummy vitamin. Thank you very much. I
know my brother who works in, you know, he was an EMT for a long time. He and his friends would, like, if they did Vegas or like a bender or whatever, they would do like an IV, like, refresh thing. But I hear it, you know, it gets you hydrated where you need to be hydrated. Like, it gets you where it needs to be without, you know. So I get it, but I don't want to have anything go into my skin.
I don't, unless I'm having blood drawn, I do not want a needle put in me.
Right.
And I'm not getting blood drawn often. So
yeah, exactly.
I try to, you know, like, so why would I purposely want that? I would not.
Yeah.
Again, I would take a Flintstones vitamin for it. But...
So you're saying at BravoCon you won't do an IV with me?
They're not going to have IVs. The liability on that.
In Vegas, though, I think they have that sort of thing. You can go.
Well, it's more so like that thing you put over your...
Oh, the oxygen? No,
yeah.
I don't know if there are oxygen bars anymore in Vegas.
It seems so...
It's very 2000s.
Yeah,
early 2000s.
Very much so.
But there used to be all over the place. I don't think I saw any last time I was there. I'm going to have to look into that. Not that I want to do one. I just always like seeing them. But anyway.
But yeah, that does take us to... I don't think anything else happened.
Nothing else really happened.
They get to the brunch.
They got to the brunch. I mean, unless we want to talk about more confessional looks or different things they were all wearing before they got to the brunch. But
well,
I mean, Porsha's mini golf outfit was just like
holding on by like a wing and a prayer.
I mean, if there had been like a Marilyn Monroe like,
wind, it would have
been like titties. I really feel like this was the Real Housewives of side boob and under boob.
So much like, side boob, much of it. So much. I've seen so much. Everything but the areola. Yeah. Honestly, like it's just a lot of boob.
I mean, I guess if they got it, I mean, people like to see it.
But like exploding boobs, side boobs, like
and it feels like you're seeing something you're not supposed to be seeing. But I think that's the whole point of it.
And a lot of booty shorts. Like Shamea likes a booty short.
She does.
It was the summer, so I get it. You know,
when she stood up to like do her dance in the studio, she had like pull those things down, and I was like,
when they were miniature golfing.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. So yeah, it's the brunch for Brit. You know, for peace.
Kelly's assistant, who has Zach's hair from the Valley,
meets Nene Leakes.
Yeah, Nene Leakes.
I didn't understand what's going on with that.
I don't either. No. I like that he had a fan as well. That they left for.
We need to get a fan.
I was looking up how much fans cost. Because I wanted to get one for a little joke for us. But I think the one that Angela has, it looks like it's relatively expensive in the scheme of handheld fans.
I'm sure it is.
Like you can get like a $20 handheld fan, but that one looked like it was like $50 or $60.
Yes.
And I'm not spending $60 on a.
No, I mean it would serve us. We would, it gets hot here, but
I mean, we wouldn't be sitting here fanning ourselves.
And also, the noise would pick up.
Well, maybe, I don't know, but
they are. Yeah.
Either way, we don't need that.
No.
But
yeah, like I don't understand Brit coming at Angela when she was just asking a simple question.
Well, it's because it was accusatory, and even everyone there, and even me, we're all wondering, how does that work? Like, you're the victim of
revenge porn,
and you lose your license over it. Also, how quickly did this all happen? Like, it
was supposed to be 48 hours later.
Yeah, so it's like that just doesn't seem right.
Like, does the Georgia Insurance License Board hear rumors going around on blogs about one of their insurance agents involved in pornography?
Pornog. You're what was that song? Like?
You're pornography.
You're pornography.
What was it, Heather? She's like, what was it?
Predator. No, see, it doesn't make sense, and I think that's why Brit gets so defensive about it and just starts attacking Angela about it, because she knows that what she said is complete bullshit
and didn't expect someone who is has a license,
right,
who could say, like, it wouldn't happen this fast. Like, there are no grounds to, like, take away your license. You didn't you didn't commit insurance fraud.
Yeah,
you didn't pull a double indemnity.
And it's not like there's like moral standards of being an insurance agent.
Right. There's no morals clause.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
it's
there
not
is,
like Miss USA or Miss America.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting when Brit's mom said that like Kenya was Miss USA.
Yes.
And that like, she's supposed to be a role model for people. And that so part of me was like, like it made me think that Brit's mom like either did her homework or just knew who Kenya was already.
Well, everybody knows Kenya's Miss USA.
I wouldn't really know.
Everyone knows it because she talks about like ad nauseum.
But no, I thought that was an interesting fact. But anyway.
She was the first Miss Black USA.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I just don't. I think it's hogwash that someone would be like, "Oh, I'm losing my license because of this." Like, no, that can't be happening.
I don't see it. Like,
and I mean, if she did lose her license or there was some thing coming into question about it, I can't imagine it would be over what Kenya did.
No, because she was the victim.
Yeah.
She wasn't like out there doing insurance and allegedly escort work but even if she was, that has nothing to do with her selling insurance. She's not committing fraud. She's not like, trying to steal money from clients. It is, I get character defamation, all those things, but like, I don't, in regards to like keeping your license.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense.
Didn't make sense.
And then, I think Angela handled it well, and
Angela could have really like clapped back and been like, "F you," but she was just like, "Let me just move." Like, I'm, why are you coming at me? But I like Angela's energy. Like, I think she's like a slightly more activated Cynthia.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm pretty calm, but like if you come at me wrong, I'm gonna like tell you something. I'm not gonna get in your face. Like, she's never gonna get in someone's face, I don't think, and yell and like be like, "F you, bitch, F you." Mm-hmm. But she'll just be like, call me like, "That's crazy. Why are you saying that? Why are you talking about Charles?" So I respect that kind of energy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. And then I think that, Shamea summed it all up by saying we got to do a line dance together.
Let's do a little two-step.
A little two-step fixes everything.
I did like she was like being the peacemaker of like, let's not bring each other down. Let's like celebrate each other and the good things. And we all have bad things in our past, but who cares about that?
Right.
Let's focus on the good. And yeah, like Shamea does so much.
Yeah.
No,
I think Shamea is a great addition to the show.
Sure.
It was interesting. There was a look Drew gave them at the brunch where I think one of the ladies said, "Oh, well, this is all just behind us. Let's, luckily we don't ever have to talk about this again." And Drew kind of gave this look, and it made me think Drew is the only one at that table that's ever been to a reunion. Everyone else there.
Well, Shamea was.
Shamea has been to a reunion?
As a friend, yeah.
Okay, so at least she knows a little bit, but like, I think Drew kind of gave us, we're going to be talking about this again.
That's a whole hour of the day.
Especially also if they were still filming with Kenya at the time. I was like, girl, you think Kenya's not going to get on camera with us and make this a thing?
I mean, that's maybe the majority of Brit's storyline.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares anymore about, her estranged sisters or trying to have a kid. It's all about this.
Yeah. I'm happy that we get to move on to the Nashville trip next week.
Yeah, it's finally a trip.
Thing.
Yeah,
finally, it's only episode 5.
It feels like so much
more. Or this episode 5.
It was like 6.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it is going. But yeah, really nothing happened in this. I mean, I didn't expect a lot to happen, but...
It wasn't, luckily, as anxiety-driven as last week's. We're like, oh, God, don't do it, can you?
Yeah, and I think also... returning to my theme of we're getting too much information too fast, it's this back and forth between, now we learned more about Kelli's family. Like we learned all about, everyone else's, and now it's more, it's like, it's so much info.
Yeah.
And I'll absorb it eventually, but right now it's just...
Take some notes. Kelli in those drag queen shoes, by the way. Like, I know you're tiny.
She needs to...
You think she would just fall right out of them? They're just so high.
Can we talk about Brit's outfit she wore? Like,
I don't know. It was really bad.
It was really bad, and like again, the wisp of coverage up top, but it also looked like a sweater dress
made into a bikini top.
Yeah, if it was that hot out, I wouldn't want to be wearing anything that sweatery. Yeah, no knits in the heat.
No knits on the tits.
Well, there was barely any knits on that, so that should be the name of this episode. I think YouTube might frown against us.
I think they might, yeah.
They might.
Yeah.
You'd have to put it on a different tube.
No. But yeah, like you'd think like that would be very warm, and you're like in the direct... Was there coverage? Were they just like in the sun?
I think they had some shade.
Yeah.
Well, there was
some shade.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean... I don't think I have much else to really talk about on this one. I don't want to...
No. I don't think it was as dry as you were saying. It's just,
Well, it was...
compared to last week.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot they could have done.
Right.
I mean, actually, it's not true. I mean, I think without Kenya, there's not a whole lot they could have really done. I think had Kenya been there, you would have seen both sides of the conversation. And, I guess for decency's sake, it's good that we don't have that, because what Kenya did was awful, and we shouldn't give that, the light of day, hear her side of things on it necessarily. But yeah.
Hopefully. I still say there will be like a sit down with Andy. Like,
oh, I think so. Yeah.
To get both sides. So.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, is there anything else we wanted to go over?
We finished the crumble cake. The sprinkle cake.
Oh, sprinkle.
Yes.
I think what we also need to say is that it's summertime. It's getting to be hot again, and our recording studio is hotter than the 80s.
Yes.
It could be hotter, but it's making us very sleepy. Like,
yes.
We were fine before, and we came upstairs. Downstairs is probably like 68 degrees. Up here, it's got to be at least 78. And so, yeah, the minute we come up here, we're like, okay, let's record. And we're just kind of like, oh, I'm a little sleepy. So, yeah, our apologies. We're going to figure this out, and maybe we'll get Angela hand fans.
Maybe we will, as long as it's quiet, yes.
Yeah, we'll need that.
Yes.
But yeah.
Oh, but sprinkle cake, still good.
Oh, yeah,
almost a week
still
later.
Good. I did notice that after about a week later, it didn't have as much crunchies on it. I think some of the crunchies may have gotten... I think they may have... gotten stale to a point, but the cake was still delicious.
I thought it would be dry after a few days, but no, it kept its...
It's very good.
Moisture, yeah. Good job. Again, good job, Melissa Gorga.
Yeah. I like that. I can't wait to see what they're doing next. So, and then just for the record, this is not paid. We bought that cake with our own money.
We did.
We wanted to try it.
We did. But if someone wants to send us a free cake, let's sprinkle by MG. We will accept a free cake, and we will do all the TikTokities.
Yeah, we're happy. We're happy to have our first brand deal.
It really fits us too.
Hey, we have over 50 listeners now, so we're getting up there. Thank you.
At least half of them must like cake. So.
Yes. Well, who doesn't like cake?
There are some people.
Well, there's some people who are probably thinking, who doesn't like pie? And then the answer is you. You don't like pie.
Yeah, I don't.
So I'm not a big pie fan either when it comes down to it.
It's the consistency.
Well, it's also because most pie is fruit pie, and fruit is not dessert.
It's not. Take your strawberries and ice cream or cream and just shove them.
All right. On that note, let's talk about it next time.
Until next time.